How's the training sort of what you learned in Melbourne? Anything that stands out to you?
I don't know, just everything just made sense, and it was just so easy. It's actually so easy.
He kept saying, I think it was the last day, he's like, I wish there was a few more days, because it was just so much information, but it was good information. And all the speakers, I could not vouch high for them. They were absolutely amazing.
What are you guys maybe doing? Because you've obviously hit the ground running.
I think it's just the way we come off to people.
Right.
We're very friendly. When we get to the job, you know, we have a laugh, have a joke with customers. We listen to them, we listen to what they want done, and we just give them what they want.
And obviously we do a really good job. We got so many referrals, and it's actually true. I think Jim said about, people walk up to you in the street. So many people have done that to us.
So Simon and Dee, thank you very much for joining us on the Jim's Mowing and Jim's Group podcast as well. And I remember you from training recently. So I remember your style for hat there, and you've got the tattoo as well. So not hard to forget, Simon. So I'm really glad to have you on so quick after coming through training and starting as a new franchisee. So how's it all been for you guys?
Fantastic. I wish we started earlier. That's the only thing I can really... Because I never would have thought we'd be in the position we are now. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it is so crazy. I keep telling myself, I keep telling Simon, I tell everyone, I'm like, I wish we started this years ago.
Right.
Years ago. Years ago. Because we were looking into it, and then we're just like, nah, we can't do it. And then one day we'll just like stuff it. Both quit our full-time jobs, have a mortgage, and we just done it. And I'm so glad we done it.
And when you say you thought you couldn't do it, was just because you didn't think you could run a small business, or what was stopping you?
Probably financial wise.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a big risk having a mortgage, because we only just built the house probably 2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah. Right.
So it's a big risk. But I felt like if we didn't, we're still just going to be stuck in the same situation forever. You know what I mean? So, because I was a truck driver, so I've been doing it for like 15 years.
Yep.
And like, how far am I going to go up? Am I going to just pull another trailer?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
I get you.
Yeah. But no.
What got it over the line for you to just decide to do it?
The biggest thing was because we were on reduced hours.
Right.
So being a truck driver, you make your money doing overtime. And then just being like, we didn't know if we we're going to be able to get overtime again or whatever it is. It's just minimum wages on basic hours. It's just tough.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, not doing it.
So it's like, we'll risk it. Yeah. And if we're going to lose the house, we're going to lose the house.
Yeah, we're going to lose the house. But
I'm glad you haven't lost the house, because you're in it now, which is good. So because I know you guys comment on some stuff as well, which is great. You know, we do a lot of TikTok and stuff, and because there's low trust in franchising in general, you get people in there, and you always chime in there, which we appreciate. Do you want to give just a quick overview to people about where your business is now from where you started?
Okay, so pretty much when we started, I think it was the 8th of March. First week, we were like pulling our hairs. We're like, what the heck did we get ourselves into? We're like, did we do the right thing? And then 3 months down the track, we can't keep up.
Yeah.
We're booked out every single week. We've like looked at our dashboard on Jimbo, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, because we started with no clients.
Yeah, we started with a no client base, so we pretty much had to build up our client base from scratch. But right now we're sitting on 57 regulars, 6 commercials, 2 stratas.
That's great.
And it hasn't stopped, and it's not stopping.
Yeah, because we generally say, if you get to 60 to 80, regular clients or something like that, that's a pretty good business. And then from there you can scale with extra people and stuff. But you've already gotten there pretty quickly. So Simon, how have you gotten there? Have you gotten there so quickly to that number?
I have no idea.
Like the leads, when they come through, they're actually really, really good.
Yeah. Quality leads is all I can say. So you get a couple here and there where you're like, oh, really? You get to the job, you're like, yeah, nah.
You already know they're just looking for the cheapest, quick option. But with our service, we like to I'd rather charge an extra $10, $20 and do the job properly. Like we just have like OCD about it all.
We're very
So yeah.
You're obviously doing a great job because your work's speaking for itself. Because that's obviously the best way to generate referrals and things like that is doing a great job. Hope you're enjoying the podcast, and sorry for the interruption. This is the host Joel Kleber. I've got a real quick favour to ask you. We've had more than 50,000 downloads across our podcast over the years, but not many reviews. So we just need people to take the time to do us a favour. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify. Really helps the show. Now back to the podcast. So run through your process. Lead comes in. I know Jim's rule is 2 hours, but how quickly are you calling that lead back?
Honestly, within 5 minutes.
10 minutes max.
Yeah. What's the expression you get? Do you get people saying, geez, that was quick, I didn't expect you to be
there?
Yeah,
I'd say 2 or 3 people a day. They'd be like, oh, wow. Like that was quick, and I was like, yeah, pretty much. That's the service you get.
And they could probably hear the mower me in the background or something. And she's just like, yeah.
And was the plan to do the business together, or was it for you to start at Simon and then come in?
Together,
plan to get it start right. That's great.
Yeah, at the start we were like, does he just do it by himself and I stay full time, because we didn't know what was going to happen. But yeah, we just both were like, you know what, let's bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Both quit our full-time jobs and we just.
But lucky we did it together, because I feel like doing it by yourself, the amount of leads that we were taking, it would probably be really hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Like I say to myself and to Simon, I'm like, it would be really hard as a one-person man to do this job yourself, because of how crazy busy it can get. Like we're 2 of us and we're just keeping up. We're just keeping
Obviously,
up.
you can turn your leads off and whatever, but yeah, for one person, if you were doing 100 regulars by yourself, you'd be pretty under the pump.
Yeah,
it's pretty. Not many people are doing that, I think, by themselves. I think they get to a level they just do splits or a little offside or something like that. But I was going to say as well, then, with the services you guys have been doing, what types of jobs have you been getting it and doing over in WA?
A lot of just regular mowing.
Yeah.
And then once off cleanup jobs and like pruning and cutting like palm trees and just removal of green waste. Yeah, a few tip runs.
No, we've done quite
people move into their house, they got boxes everywhere, and
so you get some rubbish removal stuff, right?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, we've done, I think in one day, I think we had like 3 or 4 tip runs. We're like, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
And that's cool. Just from like people just moving in, having boxes laying around, moving furniture out, getting new furniture.
And it's good to do that because it breaks it up from just doing mowing. So it's good to look forward throughout the day to something different.
Yeah.
And being so fresh from training, like how's the training sort of what you learn in Melbourne? How have you guys been implementing it, or what sort of you've gone to Melbourne and you're going, oh, that makes sense why they said that, or anything that stands out to you?
Yeah. I don't know, just everything just made sense, and it was just so easy. It's actually so easy.
He kept saying, I think it was the last day, he's like, I wish there was a few more days, because it was just so much information, but it was good information. And all the speakers, I could not vouch higher for them. They were absolutely amazing. Like their stories, we can now somewhat relate to them.
Yeah.
And we're just like, when we were sitting in training, we're like, wow. And then we're pretty much in their shoes now.
I couldn't wait to get home. But like for me, I didn't like school and sitting in a lecture and thinking about going over there, like to sit in a classroom for 5 days. I'd never been on a plane before, so that was even scary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, geez, I didn't know that. That's pretty amazing.
Jim got me on a plane, like, you know what I mean? But then going over there and being in the classroom, I wish I would have stayed for a couple more days. I wish I could hear even more from different people. It's just like
it was eye-opening.
Yeah, it was so good.
We've obviously taken what we've been taught over there and implemented into your business extremely well. Like you've already got a really good regular customer base already. So is there anything you think you're doing differently, or maybe what are you guys maybe doing? Because you've obviously hit the ground running. It's great to hear.
I think it's just the way we come off to people.
Right.
We're very friendly. When we get to the job, we have a laugh, have a joke with the customers. We listen to them. We listen to what they want done, and we just give them what they want. And
obviously we do a really good job. And that's and we got so many referrals, and it's actually true. I think Jim said about people walk up to you in the street. So many people have done that to us.
Yeah. Heaps.
Like we're in an area probably a few weeks ago where we got a lead, and it's kind of like we're going out there. It's not really, we're like, oh, we should maybe sell that client to somebody else. And then some lady walked up to us, and now I've got another regular like across the road. That makes it worth it.
So it makes it worth it going out every 2 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's very
because
got a reg from it. But I was going to say, you're right. It's very, the brand is so strong where that happens, right? And I've actually had a lot of independents I've interviewed, and I'll say to him, have you ever had a walk up whilst you're independent? They'll go, no. Then I'll go within Jim's mung, I've had 3 in the first week. So it's something like we go on the do with the day on the roads, and we'll be with a dog wash franchisee, and he gets 5 job booking requests whilst he's out at someone's house, right? So it's just the power of the brand and the trust that it has, where people will come up and do that, whereas you don't get that, I think, without it. So with what you're doing as well from a business aspect, like what was maybe the most challenging thing doing the transition from your full-time jobs to doing this? What's been the hardest thing?
Probably the funniest thing was I thought I was good at using my like Ryobi with the snipper and all that. When we went to go pick up all the Steel brand, and I like done it at the front just to try it all, just to like get it all, feel how it was all going, and I just hacked into it. Like just the power of it is just so much different. But like obviously after I'd say a couple of weeks, oh my god, it is so.
Yeah, I think that was going from a battery, because we had everything Ryobi. We're like, oh yeah,
that's like the green fluoro stuff, like the shirt. Yeah,
the cheap Bunnings,
the cheap,
the domestic
and then
stuff.
We got the petrol stuff, and we're like, oh my god, like what are we doing? But then now
and then when like, because I've got like a multi-tool edger and all that, I usually use that for the edges. But now with the whipper snipper, now I can do the edges like
just as good,
so good now. Like
that's some of the question people have. Like they think they come to training, it's like mowing school, right? So you get trained to do this, or you get trained in the equipment. But as you know, it's the complete opposite. It's more business training and how to acquire the technical side. You sort of pick up. So how long did it take you to feel as though you're proficient in using the commercial gear?
I would say within like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then obviously the body adjustment, how long did it take you guys to adjust?
Honestly, I thought, because I have been in office work, oh my God, for as long as I can remember, I thought I was going to be like struggling. But honestly, my body, touch wood, I have been fine. No body aches, no nothing.
Yeah, but so she's standing behind a self-propelled lawnmower. And here I am doing cleanup jobs where you're holding the brush cutter for like, I don't know, a couple of hours, 3 or 4 hours, and even like doing like hedges. We got a huge hedge job we did the other day, and just after like at least 2 hours of going up to the ladder and just working along your shoulders.
Maybe him, but me, I'm fine.
And maybe then you, Simon, how long is it taking you to adjust?
I was all right because I always like do the gym. I'm pretty like fit in that sense, so it's not too bad. But obviously, long periods, it does feel you. But obviously, the next day I'm pretty good. It's just, I don't know how some of the 60-year-old boys like.
I don't know how they do it, but it's good on them.
And we went with the petrol gear. So let's talk about your gear selection. You went with the petrol gear. So do you want to talk about what gear you selected, the brand, and why? Because everyone's different in gyms.
We got the Steel F131s, brush cutter, and the multi-tool with all the attachments. And then we got a Mazport Contractor 21-inch self-propelled. And then we just bought another little Mazport, like just a 19-inch, like a 575. It's like a smaller baby version, because sometimes we're doing like backyards where we got to do like up and down stairs, and sometimes like for smaller jobs it's just better to get out the smaller mower than the big Mazport Contractor. It's a bit of a
it'd be heavy.
It's very heavy. I think it's like nearly 70 kilos, that Mazport.
That is very heavy. You want to preserve your
That is very heavy.
And I was going to say as well, who's your franchisor? Is it Peter, or who have you been
Peter?
How's Pete been going with you?
Bloody amazing. He is unreal. I could not speak highly of Peter. Like whenever I've got a question, he's got an answer to it. So he's helped us quite a bit, especially like I've always like if I'm not sure, like we had a quote come through once, had no idea what the hell it was do about, and I was like, Peter, I can't do it. He's like, no, like just relax.
It was like a huge commercial job.
Commercial job. And when the lead came through, you're just scrolling because it's just so much information.
Oh, man. When I seen it, I was eating Taco Bell and I nearly spewed up. It was like, it's just overwhelming that now stuff that they wanted like done, and like I don't even know where to start. So we called Peter, was just like, oh, should we send it back? He's like, no, let's go out to the job and we'll do the quote together and go through it all. And at the end of it, it was actually not that bad at all.
Yeah, wasn't that bad.
And we actually got the commercial, which was a huge commercial as well.
Very cool. And what other sort of lessons have you learned from Peter? Because I know he's experienced for many years, and I've done him. He does a great job. And anyone I know who's in the region with Peter has always raves about his support. So is anything in particular as well he's helped you with, or you've learned from him?
What do you reckon? Just everything.
Yeah, it's just like your right hand man.
Yeah, he's pretty much your right hand man. If you've ever literally got a question, he's got the answer for it. If it's not straight away, it's within the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but
he's pretty good.
He's very, very good, and hats off to him.
And have you gone to your first meeting yet?
I think we've been to a few now.
We've been to a couple.
Yeah, we went to the one in Coastline Mowers, and we won like a first prize little handheld chainsaw thing.
Like, we never win anything.
Still.
We never win anything, and then they're like,
first
and I'm like, no way, that's us.
And have you been getting along with the other franchisees? Have you met a few other franchisees in the region and sort of buddied up with some people?
Yeah, really good, really good. Yeah, they're awesome. We've got like a little chat for south of the river. Yeah. Even if we've got if we don't know, if we're unsure of anything, we just chuck it on there, and either Peter or one of the other franchisees respond back. So we've got that on hand as well.
Yeah, that's good having that.
Yeah. They're all, we all help one another out down here.
And then what's your plan for your business, guys? You've obviously hit the ground running with revenue numbers and things already. Like, are you wanting to scale it, or you want to just get to a certain number of regs, or what are you trying to do?
So our main goal at the start was within the first 12 months, I wanted to do 5K a week, so $1,000 a day, Monday to Friday. And our first 3 months, we averaged 4K a week, an average of 4K. And on our dashboard for the next 3 months with no leads, just repeat customers, it averages at $3,500 a week.
Wow.
So some days, like last week, we hit nearly 7K. The week before was 5K. So this week's already at 4K. So it's just...
And how's that compare to what you were previously doing?
Oh my God.
Like, you wouldn't think you'd be making this amount of money just by going out and doing lawns, doing hedges, pruning. Do you know what I mean? Where people that are stuck, like, I can't.
And the great thing now is that everything's a business expense, right? So
pretty much.
Everything's a business expense. So you don't get that benefit.
Nobu at Crown,
Stuff,
It's a client meeting, mate. It's a commercial client meeting. Everything.
Yeah.
That's the thing people forget as well, is that you can now, there's a lot of tax advantages to doing a small business, which you won't get as an employee, as we all know. And I was going to say as well, so you're just hoping to get to that revenue mark, but like, you're obviously flying. You're pretty much ahead of where most people would be already. Like, are you wanting to scale it with extra workers, or you just got, as you were saying before, you've got a revenue mark every week you want to hit, or what's your sort of, and do you have like an ambition for yourself for 3 years? Or
I'd love to hire people, but then I think I've got a trust issue where just the people that I've either seen and how they work, it's just,
like
I don't know. I don't
previous
think,
jobs.
Previous jobs, I just don't think.
Like some
it's just
people
put me off from hiring people.
Yeah.
So I'd rather, because if I think we can both do it together ourselves.
Yeah.
But obviously, if we do end up getting got kids,
or within the next couple of years, like my son's already 18, so he might want to jump on board someone that's close, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's very common to have the son or daughter sometimes jump in at 18, to be honest, and just join the business. That's happened a lot with a lot of our franchisees, and it's a great way to be as well. But with as well, like probably the common things you see online with us anyway is the how are you finding the fees, the concept of fees? So every month there's an invoice from us, but how are you finding that in terms of the value that you're receiving?
It's pretty good. It's only like, I think, because we've taken, is it 250 leads?
You got a few leads,
taken 180 leads within the I think we're at 3.5 months now. So I think it averages around, like with the $200 a week, $1,400 a month.
Yep, because you're doing a lot of leads, yeah.
Like sooner or later, obviously, I don't think we're going to be taking many leads by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So $800 a month to have a brand that we're working for is well worth it.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying the podcast, and sorry for the interruption. This is the host, Joel Kleber. I've got a real quick favour to ask you. We've had more than 50,000 downloads across our podcast over the years, but not many reviews. So we just need people to take the time to do us a favour. And if you enjoyed the podcast, leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify. Really helps the show. Now back to the podcast. I was going to say as well, the concept of the lead fee. Like, a lot of the time, people online that they think it's outrageous that we charge a lead fee. And it was funny. I actually interviewed a franchisor today called Chris Hansen. He used to be a franchisee before the lead fee came in, and he basically says it was the best thing Jim ever did because people wouldn't cherry pick leads and they'd try and win the job. So, how do you sort of view the lead fee itself?
Yeah, no, 100% agree with that.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
And what are you converting at? You're obviously converting very high.
Yeah, I reckon we're probably at, like 80%, I reckon.
Yeah, 80% probably.
I think, we'll be up to there. Yeah.
80% is really good. And with what you're doing in your business, like what sort of advice would you say to people to come through the training? Because there's obviously people who come through training every month and you're in their position. What sort of any advice you maybe can give them from being in it now for a few months?
Just don't stress about the amount of money you're going to make at the start, because it will just come like straight away.
Yeah.
Like the leads just, it's, it's just over crazy. Yeah.
Maybe probably the best advice might be manage your lead, or make sure you only take as many leads as you know you can. Yeah. I think that's a good tip, because I have heard that before where some franchisees might start and they don't adjust their gyms online and they might get 20 leads in 2 days and then they're getting complaints and stuff, and it can
because that's what we said.
Yeah, well, like at the start we're like, let's just take 10 leads
every day.
And then it's like, absolutely not.
Oh my God.
He's like, no. He's like, let's just start off with 4 and let's see how you go. And honestly, 4 is the perfect number.
4, yep.
Yeah,
4
a day.
If you get any more than, like, obviously at the start it's good to get a bit, but a month or 2 you want to bring that right back down.
Maybe even 1 or 2 a day. Even for us now, if we were only to get 1 lead a day, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Very cool.
Yeah.
And with your first week as well, how did you go off your first set of quotes? Because that's generally the toughest thing I find with franchisees when they leave gyms is just quoting. It's something where you can hear it all the time from the presenters, but once you're there on the first client, you've got to then look at it for yourself. How did you go with that?
When that first lead came through, we're like, all right, let's do it. And then we got to the job and we're like, it wasn't too bad. I think it was okay.
It's a bit like anxious and
like meeting the customer for the first time. You're like, oh my God.
And then you don't know where to start. Do I go a little bit lower just to get the job? And then, do you know what I mean? Like, it's very, it's very scary, but it's actually within the first, I reckon, couple of weeks, it started.
Yeah.
You're not worried,
you're not worried
anxious about meeting the customer. It feels more natural.
Well, it's all new to you, right? And that's the thing. That's a good point. What you said is you've been in a truck for so many years and you're doing an office job, and now it's a completely different switch to being a business owner where you've got to be proactive and make things happen. And you're right. I think there's an adjustment period which takes some time, and I think it's really natural.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what do your friends and family think about what you're doing?
Super proud of us. At the start, they were like, why are you guys buying a franchise? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, read into it. It's fine.
We watched like so many videos on YouTube with like Dan and everyone else.
Yeah.
Like we'll sit in here watching hour long, and it just gets you so excited. You're like, there's no way he's not really making that much in his first. Like it's so like when you sit back and look at it, it's very like that. It just seems unbelievable, but it's actually like very true,
Yeah, well, I'm glad that's the case, because we don't want to. We want to put out stuff that's representation of what it actually is, and I'm really glad to hear from you guys that you've done the research as well. And we know that when I hear people watch the videos that you guys do, we just know you're going to do well, because it almost self-selects you in a way, because you'll hear from all those people about you can make good money, but you got to work hard as well, and you got to follow the system. It's not all easy, right? So, do you just enjoy the challenge now, I guess, of doing your own business from what you're doing before, from a mental perspective? Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I wouldn't change anything. Like, it's been absolutely awesome. So, like, just health-wise, you just feel fresh.
How have you found working together? Because you've been obviously in different careers.
Yeah. We used to work
we used
together.
to still like work together, but at different
like he used to be the truck driver, and I used to be.
So she'd build the cars, I'd go deliver the cars.
Yeah. Right.
Cool. We met at our like job.
Getcha.
So
honestly, even it's fine. He does one thing, I do the other thing, and then we
she's
just get to the trailer,
and I'm whippersnipping, edging.
Yeah.
And it just works out perfect. We're always both finished at the exact same time.
And then we just meet back at the back of the trailer. We help each other load the equipment in, and then off we go to the next job.
That's great. And I was going to
having help at the start.
I can imagine. And I was going to say as well, with the technology in your business, you mentioned Jimbo before. Is there anything else you're using in your business to do stuff? Do you use any AI, or do you just use Jimbo, or what are you doing?
No, just using Jimbo. That's it.
Yeah.
Jimbo and obviously Zero, and that's it.
Well, no, Jimbo is really easy to use. And it's been so good to us.
Like, so simple, so easy. It's literally just 2 clicks and you're done.
Are you just doing basically getting after the car, job done, market done, and you're sending the invoice straight after the job to the customer?
That's what I mean. So while I'm driving to the next job, she's doing the invoice, which takes literally 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But then when we get back home, we don't have to do anything.
We don't have
that was my question to you, because back in the day when you said these interviews, you'd have people who say, they come and do half an hour at night after the day and things like that. So you don't have to do that.
None of that. No. So as soon as we get home, that's shut off time.
Yeah. As soon as we do a quote and I'm driving to the next job, we're talking about how much for this quote, and she's just typing it all up.
Yeah.
And it's just
everything
and it's set by the time we get to the next job.
And I think with what you guys do now, you get a good job satisfaction every job, right? I've heard this before from people where you actually see what you're doing, right? Whereas you work in an office or something, it's a bit different, right? Whereas you actually see your transformation from start to finish, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of these cleanup jobs that we go to, we get there, we're like, oh my God. And then we finish the job and we're just like gobsmacked. We're like, wow, we done that. We made this backyard look livable again. Like, it's just, every job we go to, we take pride in the work we do, 110%.
And I was going to say as well, then, from your perspective, Simon, the brand, like, why do people use Jim's Mowing? Is it because of everything you're doing in regards to, being punctual, rocking up, great quality work, or what do you think the Jim's Mowing difference is in the market from your perspective?
Probably just great quality work.
Everyone knows Jim's. If you
her brother now uses Jim's Laundry and Jim's IT the other day.
So
now everyone that we talk to, because we're at Jim's, everyone's starting to like, oh, we use Jim's for this, we use Jim's for that, Jim's pool care.
It's
good to hear. No, it's great. And I was going to say as well, you mentioned skepticism around franchising from friends and family, and I think that happens just in general. But obviously seeing you doing it now, they're obviously really happy for you, I presume. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, they can't believe it either. They're really happy for us. They're proud of how far we've come, and that's all I can really say. At the start, obviously, they were a bit like, no, what are you guys getting yourself into? Don't just start your own business. I was like, you can start your own business, but how are you going to find your work? You can't, you can do all the advertising yourself, do this, but how much of that is actually going to help you and benefit you and get you jobs? Where with gyms, you've got all the support right behind you. And I tell everyone, I'm like, if you're going to start a business, look into gyms first, because their support system, they will back you 110%. And I wish we just started this earlier. And it's been freaking awesome. And
I reckon people don't take into account as well the lost income you do. If you're starting a new independent business, for example, there's a lost income. You've got to get that thing going. You're not going to be day one, right? So people don't take that into account a lot of the time. And I think with gyms, it's a great ROI franchise too, because you pay your money in, but I think you can get it back pretty quickly.
You get it back, absolutely. Like a $15 or $17 lead can turn into like a $3,000 job.
And then look at we got our 57 repeat customers that we don't have to pay a lead for every
every time we go out there and service them. So
you're going to be off leads from the sound of it by the end of the year, probably. Anyway,
absolutely.
I think so too.
I think so too.
But I'd probably keep leads open for our area and try to bring everything closer and then move out.
Yeah.
I can't wait till it gets to that.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the zone that we're in now,
it's pretty close.
Everything is like 15 minutes either north that way or 15 minutes that way. And just it's not that.
Yeah, we're not traveling far at all. We section ourselves. So one day we're in Baldivis, one day we're in Rockingham, one day we're in Waikiki. Just so we're not going
some jobs on the way, like
just so we're not going up and down like you go. But at the start, we were like going from one end to the street down to the other end. But now we're just like.
So a lead comes through, we get so excited, we run out to Rockingham.
Yeah.
We do the quote, get the job, come back home. Next lead comes, okay, now we're off to Baldivis. Come back home. You know what I mean? Because
that's how it was at the start. We had nothing, and then now we're just like.
Now we have a lead. We can look in the calendar, be like, okay, on Wednesday we're in Baldivis. We'll book it in for Wednesday, so we're not going out there for no reason.
Yeah,
we're out there.
Well, that's a good point because, as you said, Simon, when you first start, you do have to take work from everywhere, right? And that's the thing. And you are driving across the place and stuff. But as you said, you get the idea is you can condense your run, and you've just got to do that at the start, and then you can condense it and sell off clients if you want to do that or whatever you need to do. And that's just something that you have to do in the gym system. But once it's done, you're in a good position for it. Yeah. But
exactly.
I was going to say as well. How's it been with you then, being closer to home then, Simon? Were you a long haul truck driver or anything, or was it just dropping off?
So I was only probably 30 minutes from work, and then I'd just deliver cars, like new cars, to dealerships around Perth. So it was pretty easy.
And I presume this is a bit more stimulating than that now.
Still driving?
But to be honest, I love truck driving.
Yeah,
I do it all day, every day, but it's just the money.
Yeah.
And it was
it's not really that good at all.
Well, I guess you got
right. Yeah.
Well, your income's not capped doing this, isn't it? Right. So whereas
exactly,
what could you do it
for us? Yeah, we want to work overtime. Like I want to do a trip to Albany on a Saturday for work or whatever. Where when you're capped and you can't do that, it's just like At least now for us, we're working. If we want to work Saturday or Sunday, we can book in those jobs Saturday and Sunday. Instead of pushing them out to next week. So the week after, when we start getting leads, we can just start popping through them straight away.
And I didn't ask you this at the start, Dee and Simon, but why did you pick Jim's Mowing? Like, did you have a passion for gardening or anything before doing it, or what was it about Jim's Mowing in particular?
I think I've seen it on TikTok. I think Jim come up there.
It was a sign. It was a sign.
It kept coming up. Right, it means you watch the video for too long, and then we keep the algorithm will keep serving it to you. That's why.
And everything that.
Well, I reckon even when we first moved into our house, we take like pride in our front lawn. So I think
we have the best lawn in the street.
Yeah, we probably
And now because we service, we've got like 3 people on our street and like 2-3 people on this back street.
Yeah.
And now their grass is starting to look better. Now it's not pretty. It's not.
So there you go. So you got a good. So you had a passion for having the lawn, the best lawn in the street, and obviously that's great. That's good to hear.
House nice, and then we'll just
many people like that. Like some of the houses that we did, the grass just did not look good, but because now we're regularly maintenance, we're doing fertilizer for them, and now they're always like, "Wow, thanks for like." Every month we go there, it just looks better and better and better. And then we always send them progress pictures.
And like we look through the photos, like we're like, wow. Like
so after like probably 2 cuts, I'll send us like a photo of when we first went there to what that actually looks like now.
Later time it is.
They love it. They absolutely love it. They're like, wow, we can't believe our lawns actually looked like that. We're like, this is what regular mowing can do.
Well, that's a great little 1%er. So just to clarify for franchisees who might listen to this, so you send a progress picture like when you do this sort of stuff as you go, and obviously they can see the value for money as well, can't they, in terms of what you're doing?
Exactly.
Because sometimes when they're like looking at their grass every week, they probably forgot how bad it actually looked like at the start. I don't forget. I just love looking at like what we did when we first ever got there to what it looks like now.
And it looks
Because what's the grass variety in your area? Because I remember when I lived in Perth, like everything was bowling green, right? And Victoria's completely different. Whereas in Perth, it's bowling green. You had to retick because it's obviously hot a lot of the time. And people were pretty...
Like kaiku, wintergreen and buffalo, but not many people have buffalo. It's usually just the cheap wintergreen, which
we tell people like when you should have upgraded your grass at the start. They're like, we didn't know we could have done that. We're like, yes, you can.
But, you don't need turf installs or anything, or any lawn rejuvenation?
We did one in PR Waters
for an investment property.
Yeah, that was our first one. And that was so fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. We were like, we could do this all the time.
That's pretty cool. So, talk us through that job. Was it just a complete lawn reno, or what'd you do?
So it was new build. They had to get their front lawn, crossover, and the backyard done.
Right.
So we done that all for them.
Yeah, because they're from Sydney.
Yeah, so we're from Melbourne. She had like no contact, so I was helping her. I was like, you need
we
this
helped
stuff.
her because we know someone that does like side stuff as well. So we just got them to do that for her and all that. So
we helped her out. She couldn't. She was like, "Thank you so much. I'm so glad I came across you." That's okay. That's what girls are here for.
Perfect. Hope you're enjoying the podcast, and sorry for the interruption. This is the host, Joel Kleber. I've got a real quick favour to ask you. We've had more than 50,000 downloads across our podcast over the years, but not many reviews. So we just need people to take the time to do us a favour. And if you enjoyed the podcast, leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify. Really helps the show. Now back to the podcast. And I was going to say as well, any good customer stories in your journey so far? Has there been anyone you helped out or anyone that sticks to mind?
Oh, we've got all our customers, we have got the best customers, I think. Like everyone is so nice. We've got a couple customers, some oldies that will call us during the week, like, hey, how you going? How's the Dockers going? Because we're Dockers supporters. So they'll call you, how the Dockers going? You guys going to the grand final and hopefully. But we've got a really good relationship with all our customers, and they are 10 out of 10.
That's great. And I'll leave you the last question. Like, has it married up to the promise? Like, you did a lot of research, and has what we presented online, I guess, married up to the promise? Because it's a big commitment coming from Perth to Melbourne as well. It can be quite scary. Yeah. Getting on the plane for the first time as well. So that's probably the hardest thing from hearing what you've been doing. So
but it's top dirt.
It's great.
Yeah. It couldn't be any better than
I
didn't think it was going to be where we're at now. I was hoping we we're going to be like that in around the 12 months. I was hoping we were, and to be where we are already now, it's
And
then guess how many 5-star Google reviews we've got?
Joel?
40. How many?
64.
Already?
Yes.
Already put you in the top 10 in the whole Jim's Mowing. I'm trying to really hammer that home. I actually want to ask you because I can clip this out in training. So you got 64 Google reviews now. So how have you been collecting those?
So for every time at the end of a job, when I send off the invoice, because you can obviously edit your templates in Jimbo, I just put like a link of our Google My Business review and just ask them like, hey, here's your invoice, and it'd be great if you could leave us a 5-star Google review. Here's the link below. And it's worked.
Yeah.
It worked. That's it.
Well, you obviously done great work because that's why they're doing it. They're feeling, these guys have done me a great job. I'm going to do it for you. But 64 is that's really, really good. That's
we probably average probably around 1 or 2 a week.
That's good because that's
regulars, so they've already.
Yeah, most of them are just regulars, so they've already done theirs. So when we've got these once-off customers,
But the goal is 100. I can't wait to get to 100.
Yeah, our goal was 30, 60, and now let's try hit 100.
And once you get to 100, you'll have a great asset, and that's the thing I'm trying to tell people, that you've got a good asset, and at least your business is always going to be seen in your area when someone searches for the services. They're going to see Jim's Mowing. I can tell with 64 reviews, right, and the customer's going to go, wow, I want to use them. Has anyone mentioned it to you on the phone or anything at all? That they found you via that, or?
I don't think so. No, right. No. I've had 2 off Facebook, and that's about it.
Right, cool. Because you guys did some posts on social media as well, so you posted some lawn renos and things. So have anyone contacted you directly via that, or?
Like I said, just 2 off Facebook. We've got 1 off Instagram.
Right.
And that's about it.
Cool. So you're doing everything well. Yep.
Yeah.
And then even like for us, when we go to our daughter's football, I'll always have the trailer and the car behind the goals
Everyone free advertising.
We love it.
It is. You know, we've been saying it's funny. Jim will always be big on that, like driving, wearing your shirt everywhere, or taking your trailer to the kids' event. You're right. It's a billboard there at the footy for 2 hours or something. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were in Piara Waters on the weekend, have the car and the trailer behind the goals, and then just as we were about to leave, a lead in Piara Waters. We're like, what's the odds? And then I sent it to Peter. He's like, no way. And I was like, yep.
Perfect. Well, you guys are obviously following the system beautifully. You're doing everything extremely well, and you're obviously doing your part. That's why you've got, such a great business already so quickly into it. And it's great to hear someone come from training and, be hesitant with the franchise to actually what it's done within a short amount of time. So thank you for your time tonight and coming on. I'm really happy to hear how well you've done, and Peter as well for putting you forward to come on. And I'm glad you come on as well, and you'll help other people now with what you say. So we really take our hats off with you, and thank you for jumping on.
No, that's okay. Right.
And for anyone that's like watching that is on the boundary of, should I go or should I not?
Just do it.
Just take the risk. Like I don't even think it's not a big risk.
It's
don't be scared about
don't be scared. You're gonna be fine.
And you'll see plenty of stories like ours on YouTube, TikTok, or whatever it is, and they're all the same.
Just do it.
Well, I'm very happy to see how happy you are with your decision. Like, that makes us good, because that's obviously what I've been doing for 7 years, is the content, to give people the confidence to do what you've done. And obviously you've made it work, and that's the key, right? With the franchises, there's a system, and you're doing everything. You're doing the Google reviews, you're doing social media, you're doing all the great customer service stuff, great work as well. And if you do all these different components and asking your franchisor, look what you've done. It's fantastic, and I'm really happy for you. And I'm sure hopefully in another 12 months or something, you can jump on and tell me you've got to 100 regs, or you've got a staff on, or it'd be great to hear how you progress in the journey as well with your small business.
No, definitely.
A 12-month update.
12-month update.
Cool. Let's do it.
Probably in 6 months we'll say, we're at 100 regs. So come on,
Now we can email you, no problem. I'm happy to have you on anytime. But thanks, guys. Thanks for jumping on tonight. We really appreciate it. And well done.
Thanks so much, Joel.
Thank you for listening to the episode of the More Than Just Mowing podcast by Jim's Mowing. If you do need help with your local gardening expert, please give us a call on 131 546 for Australia, 0800 454 654 for New Zealand, or head to jimsmowing.com.au or jimsmowing.co.nz. If you liked what you heard, please make sure to leave us a review as well, wherever you consume your podcast. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.